water is the next crypto buck. Water is the next whatever gold. I mean, really smart guys have been buying the families like the Rockefellers have been buying up water rights for 100 plus years. There's a reason why.
All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Mawan back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, Digital Scan to Obtain Water, 2026 year of the N.W.O / technology. It's almost here. All right. And what's almost here? This MOTB, man. All right. This thing is about to show its face. It's about to come out of left field. All right. Without these people realizing, all right, what's about to hit them. As the scriptures say, it shall come upon them as a snare. Right. This whole thing is going to be a snare that's going to be brought upon the whole entire earth, the whole world. All right. And everyone's going to be tried in the hour of temptation. All right. And really, truly, the ones that are being tried in the hour of temptation is our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right. Because the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, doesn't want any of our people, all right, to bow down to the system, nor the image, all right, this RFID. Okay. And, you know, again, it's going to come out of left field and deceive many, all right, by the means of those, you know, miracles, those technologies, okay. You know, they're already pushing it out as a Messiah, as a Messiah digital solution, okay. I did a video on that a couple of days back, but this was very interesting. My wife, he sent me this. All right. And they're basically talking about how you're going to have a digital scan to actually have water, to obtain water, you see. And this goes back to them, you know, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads, right, that they cannot buy or sell less they have the mark. Okay. You're not going to be able to have, you know, access to water unless you scan and verify yourself, all right, as part of the beast system, as part of this devil's, you know, digital slave. You have to show that you're a slave in order for you to gain water. Okay, so let's hear this
Water is the next crypto fuck. Water is the next whatever gold. I mean, really smart guys have been buying the families like the Rockefellers have been buying up water rights for 100 plus years. There's a reason why Ted Turner, I believe, is either the largest.
And you really think about it, that's straight facts, because all the waters that we get is bottled water, right? We're not actually getting water from creeks, and we're not getting waters from actual mountain springs. Not saying that they don't exist, all right, but we're not getting them from them, you see. And those type of places are, you know, they're reserved, government reserved. You can't have full access to those type of places, man. But instead, you know, we're getting water from, you know, places that they basically own, that water runs through, and they have built factories around it, or they've built whatever type of technologies around it to control the water source, all right, that comes in. And then off of that, you know, they'll make some type of, you know, you'll get some type of bottled water out of it, not knowing what they're really putting in the water, what type of chemicals they're putting in the water. Okay, they're putting all types of shit in there, man. They're putting estrogen in water, you know, BPA plastics is being used to carry those waters. All right, they put in, you know, hormonal, you know, chemicals in those waters to, you know, basically be used against men and used against women. The women become more masculine, and the men are becoming more fucking soft every damn day, just off of the technologies that they have running through these damn waters. All right, and again, you know, chemicals, BPAs and things like that, all these things come in handy and is used as an advantage for these devils. All right. So, you know, we're not really getting pure water That see, in the kingdom, we're gonna get the purest water you can possibly have on planet Earth, because real water is supposed to actually cleanse your body. All right, yeah. Does the water that we have work to a little bit to our advantage? Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's why we drink water. The Lord will have us fasting, things like that. All right, but it's not to its purity. So you're really not getting the true benefits of real water. Okay, like I said, in the kingdom, you're gonna get water's gonna be, pure in that kingdom. All right, it's gonna, have us our body spiritually in tune the way it's supposed to have, for us to be close to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, So, you're not able to, get the actual official water that you're supposed to be getting. If anything, it's artificial, it's fake as hell. All right, purified as shit. Purified water is not real water that has true minerals and shit like that in it. All right, purified water is being purified through a machine. It's being purified through whatever technologies they have. Okay, you're really supposed to have that creek water, mountain water, water that runs off rocks and naturally has those minerals. All right, and water is one of the most important things. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab that. 1 second. This is Daniel. This is Daniel 1 and 10, I believe it is. Yeah, this is actually it's 10. It's 1 and 16. All right, but let's take it from 11. It says, then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us posts to eat and water to drink. Right? Then let our countenance be looked upon for thee, before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and wine that they should drink, and gave them posts. All right, and basically posts is what? Posts is vegetables, all right, and water. And see, that's the main thing that we're supposed to really be having in our bodies, because what does vegetables do? Vegetables actually they detox your body. So when you're constantly eating that, anything that's nasty in your body that's not supposed to be in your body is being detoxed. Is being detoxed at the end of the day. Okay. So the water is what flushes you out, flushes everything down, constantly has you pissing out, what's bad for you, and it keeps your body, refreshed and cleansed also. It keeps you hydrated, and ultimately, our body's what, 80% water, Shalom, Sister Yahweh, 80% water. So, it all goes hand in hand, vegetables and waters, man. Okay. And then you get your nutrients, all right, from your fruits, and then, us eating, the dietary law meats that we're supposed to, you'll get your proteins and things like that, the rest. But the most that we're supposed to be eating, all right, is these fruits, vegetables, and drinking lots of water. All right. So it showed that water was important along with the vegetables, because it showed that their countenance were fairer and better than the rest of the people that were eating the actual portion of the king's meat. All right, which the king's meat here in Babylon the Great will destroy you. It's defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, it's making us sick, it's poisoned, 3D printed, mixed with swine, mixed with DNA, like all that nonsense, right? So it says, thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine, and that they should drink, and gave them posts. All right, so that's the point on that, right? So let's go to back to that video. Hold on. This is let me go back to it.
Water is the next crypto.
So basically what it's saying on the bottom, it says the global water situation has transitioned into a critical phase where demand consistently outpaces the natural replenishment of the Earth's most vital resource. As of 2026, severe water stress affects nearly half of the global population, driven by a combination of industrial overconsumption, aging infrastructure, and shifting climate patterns. Many of the world's largest underground aquifers, yeah, I believe that's how you say aquifers, it says, which provide the majority of our drinking water and irrigation water, are currently being drained at rates far higher than they can ever be refilled. Large-scale investors and institutional funds are now prioritizing the acquisitions of water rights over the land itself. These legal entitlements, all right, these legal entitlements grant control over the liquid assets beneath the soil, turning freshwater access into a strategic commodity. It says, since water remains a resource with no biological or chemical substitute, controlling its flow has become a method of securing long-term influence over food production and urban development. This shift signifies a move toward treating water as financial hedge against future scarcity. Projections for the end of the decade suggest a significant gap between the available freshwater supply and the requirements of a growing global population. This scarcity places intense pressure on agriculture sectors and creates a complex debate regarding the ethics of privatizing life-sustaining resources. The coming years will likely see a transformation in how water is priced, traded, and protected, as it becomes the defining factor in both economic stability and international security, right? So let me play the rest of that video, and then I'll play another video.
Is the next crypto fuck. Water is the next whatever, gold. I mean, really smart guys have been buying, the families like the Rockefellers have been buying up water rights for 100 plus years. There's a reason why Ted Turner, I believe, is either the largest or the second largest landowner in the United States. He's not buying it for the land, he's buying it for the fucking water rights. Why are people so stupid? Water is the next crypto fuck.
Now check this one out.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated.
Oh, let me make sure this is the one. Because wifey sent me these videos. She says she sent it to me, but I don't see it. The one where it says you have to scan the credit cards for water. Let me see if it's this one. Hold on.
Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction.
Oh, okay.
If you have missed work due to illness,
Yeah,
good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your family safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
I don't know. I guess that's the video that she was talking about. I don't know. She got me confused with that one. But you know, just hold on. Let me see what's this.
Great blackout. Had no power.
Yeah, I think she's just confused. Anyway, whatever. I thought she was sending me a video that was basically showing me them scanning scanning themselves for water. But even though she didn't send me the right video, it's still showing that you're gonna have to be scanned for everything in life. All right. So for you to actually obtain water, all right, and food, you're gonna have to be scanned. All right. And like we just brought out in that other video, all right, that it said that water is considered as gold. You see, that's how water is going to be golden in that day. So best believe they're going to have to scan you. All right. You're going to have to verify yourself, showing that you're part of the system in order for you to gain something so golden in this side, you see, on this, in this society. OK, so, you know, everything leads back to one thing. It leads back to those MOTBs, man. All right. To the microchip. All right, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID. This is what is eventually going to happen after these digital IDs. This digital ID that they're about to drop is basically the prequel to the MOTB. All right, that's the final stage of gradualism, basically, to you know, show you what's the next step. Because with that digital ID, they're showing you that, you know, you can't do nothing without it. You know, everything is going to be that's on your record is going to be basically on your digital ID. OK, but the one thing is that you can lose a digital ID. So the whole point of you having the MOTB is to show that you can't lose it. It's attached to you. You know, you can still hack biometrics and play around with people's shit, you know, with a digital ID. But once it's connected to your body, you can't duplicate that. You see, you can't hack that. I mean, they can hack it. They can hack you. That's why they want you connected to their system. Okay. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's what the whole point is about, man, is them having complete control over you, complete control over your thoughts. All right. And nobody's able to replicate you. Okay. Because in this society, you have many loopholes. Okay. You have many loopholes in here to be able to, you know, beat the system, you know, and basically with that RFID, you're not going to be able to no longer beat the system, all right, at all. So let me make sure. I'm not passing the video she's talking about because she sent me mad videos. I think she just got confused herself. I was actually excited to bring it out. I should have actually went into the videos before I brought out the video, but the spirit just jumped on me right away to do it. But I'm pretty sure you can see the point, all right, by them saying that the water is golden, okay? So let's grab this. This is Revelations 13 and 16, which, you know, we always bring this out through the spirit. And it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. You see? NLT says, and no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. All right. So it will make perfect sense that you're connected to the system and you won't be able to receive any type of food or any type of water. All right. The two main things that our body needs, all right, to survive. Right. You're not going to be able to have access to that. All right. Unless you have that mark. It says, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. All right. This is in the NLT. I'm reading it. It says, wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast. All right. For it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay. And that goes to show you that it's coming from an actual man. All right. That it's a physical mark. Okay. Because it's going to come from a physical man. All right. Are they coming in the working of Satan? Absolutely. Because it tells you that in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. All right. It says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders. All right. When you read it in the NLT, it says this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. Yeah. So, you know, they have been put under strong delusion to believe lies. Okay. It says he comes in the working of Satan with counterfeit power, signs, and miracles. All right. Those miracles is going to go into that technology. Okay. Because the scriptures tell you in Revelations 13, 13 and what is that? 14. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. You see, those miracles is going into the technologies, to the witchcrafts and the sorceries. Okay. The lies, the gradualism, you know, the solutions that this devil has basically to make you fall into, you know, the convenience that they speak, as the scriptures say, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but he imagined how to throw thee into a pit, you know, so he gonna talk the talk, all right, but just to, you know, get you sucked in even more, to have you believing in his system, you know, to have you feeling comfortable. And that's what a cunning hunter does. They make you feel comfortable, you know, in what you're doing, so you can fall into their trap, you know, and that's what he has, a whole bunch of traps laid out for us. All right. So, like I said, eventually, you know, the main resources that we need the most is going to be under attack. Okay. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Because this is what's coming to our people, man. A famine, a great famine, you know, a great thirst, All right, and ultimately of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see, that's going to be the main thing, man, because as the scriptures tell you, John 6 and John 6 and 35, and it reads, and Yahweh said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. You see, scriptures tell you in Matthew 4 and 4, it says, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. You see, so we're going to have an actual famine, physical famine, an actual physical thirst of, you know, our water being taken away from us. All right, because the Lord tells you that in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, verse 1. It says, for behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai, the Lord of hosts Yahweh, does take away from Jerusalem, from Judah, the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. It says, the Lord Yahweh Shai, this is NLT, the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies will take away from Jerusalem and Judah, all right, northern kingdom, southern kingdom, everything they depend on, every bit of bread and every drop of water. You know, that's what always comes to our people when the Lord brings famine, you know, when he puts us into the hands of our enemies, which we're already in the hands of our enemies, but, you know, it's going to be even worse. All right, so he's definitely going to take away physical bread and physical water, but most of all, he's going to take away the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, hearing these words of us telling you over and over, warning you of what's to come. All right. And once those words are given, are taken away, the vision is taken away from you. And where there is no vision, the people perish. You see, there's going to be nobody to explain to you anymore. All right, what is happening? We're not going to be a reprover onto the people anymore. You see, and that's pretty much why these people going to perish, man, because they don't have the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai no more, because that's the only way you can live. Man shall live by what? By the words that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh. Okay, that's what fills you up in hunger. That's what fills you up in thirst, is having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is the stability of thy times. The Lord didn't say food and water will be the stability of thy times. He said knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. So that's more important than food and water. That's more important than precious fine gold. The Lord said that the knowledge, the wisdom, all right, the knowledge and wisdom is completely uncomparable to, you know, to gold, to precious rubies, right? All right. Let me see. Yeah, see, she got mixed up. She sent it to me right now. Hold on. Sure. Hold on.
Listen to this.
Welcome to the year 2055, where the AI server farms are draining water. Water is no longer our right, it's a product. You don't fetch water, you scam for it. Drinking water became more expensive because of the unavailability. Hidden near these dry rivers stand monstrous AI server farms, pulling millions of liters daily. In slums, people burn plastic waste to boil drain water just to survive. A smart water ATM scans your face to decide if you deserve water today. If access denied, try again tomorrow.
It's actually called Day Zero. Now,
Yeah, see, that's the video right there. She just said that she got confused. I knew she was confused on something because it wasn't coming out right. But see, that goes to show you that you're gonna have to scan your face to actually get water, man. And this is all AI generated at the end of the day. All right. But just because it's AI generated, all right, doesn't mean that it's not gonna come to pass, man. All right. Now that the more I keep seeing all these AI generated videos and shit like that, right, it's really another way of showing predictive programming. Okay, that's what I've been really peeping through the spirit lately, that you know, these AI generated videos that keep coming out, all right, are really predictive programming of what's to come, of what's happening. You see, so this will be the future. All right, this will be in the future, where you have to scan your face in order for you to drink water. Okay.
When the water supply gets so low that governments have to shut off access to regular tap water, there's a danger that nobody's talking about. But it's going to hit harder than anything this decade. The world could run out of water. Remember, we're in the biggest tech transformation in history, and tech needs water. AI and data centers need water.
That's what I was going to say too. And right now they're talking about how all these data centers, all these systems that they need to run AI and to run all these other digital systems, they're actually put underwater. They need billions of gallons of water to, I guess, to keep it cool and keep it running efficiently, you know. So they've been which there's a video that's been leaking that's viral right now through Instagram, where it shows you the data systems, the data computers underwater. You know, and that's why they're trying to tell you that there's such a big increase in loss of water. Okay, because it's going to all these computer systems, it's going to these smart cities and things like that. Okay.
Threat, but it could be a huge opportunity. There's a reason why people like Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and other billionaires are investing in water. Now, here's 5 ways to invest in water. You have water ETFs, PHO, FIW, both give you exposure to the entire ecosystem. Number 2, you got water utilities, AWK, WTRG, both predictable, essential demand. Then you have infrastructure, filtration, desalination, pipelines. These are the pick and shovels of the water ecosystem. You have water tech companies that are solving purification and recycling. Now, by the time everybody figures this out, it's going to be too late. Follow me for more on the future of money, resources, and how to position your investment into this.
Welcome to the year 2055, where the AI server farms are draining water. Water is no longer our right. It's a product. You don't fetch water, you scamper it. Drinking water became more expensive because of the unavailability. Hidden near these dry rivers stand monstrous AI server farms, pulling millions of liters daily. In the slums, people burn plastic waste to boil drain water just to survive. A smart water ATM scans your face to decide if you deserve water today. If access denied, try again tomorrow.
It's actually called,
and that's what's crazy too. That is, they said it's a smart water. That's how you know we're in the 4th industrial revolution, the Internet of Things. You know, everything is about a smart this, smart that. You know, everything is smart, 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 and pretty much smart is a representation of being connected to the smart system. You know, the smart system is basically just a B system. All right, it's just a digitalized world. That's what we're connected to right now. That's what we've been connecting to ourselves little by little. All right, until they make that MOTB mandatory. That's when everything's gonna fully, completely go digitalized, man. It is gonna be, you know, a futuristic world. Okay, when we're already in the midst of it through, you know, the computers, the features of computers, the features of phones, and the phones that we have. You know, they be doing some weirdo shit, man. Okay. And then with all these different systems that are being brought up, Palantir, and, you know, they have access to completely, you know, dodge into your damn privacy, basically. You know, that just goes to show you how digitalized this world is. All right. And it's going to be worse and worse as the days come by, as the weeks keep coming. All right. Remember, honestly, all this shit that they have is old as hell to us. I mean, old as hell to them. All right. And it's new to us. This shit, they've been had these things ready to go for years now. What's new to us, it's 50 years old to the fucking government. You know, how long have they been using, you know, their money, our hardworking tax dollars that they'll tell you is going to the streets, or to help street lights become more usable. They'll say some dumb shit like that, when in all reality, all our tax paying dollars really go to weapons of war, goes to funding war, to funding these elites, you know, to funding for the technology. They got to pay these scientists somehow, some way. All right. So that's what it really goes to, man. So all these technologies, they have them already ready to go, been had them ready to go. And it was just a matter of time of them using them. All right. So when this shit it brings it out, when they bring it out to us, everybody's like, wow, look at this. To them, it's old as shit. I've seen videos where phones that we got today were back in the fucking 30s, man. They had phones like that back in the 30s and the 40s. It just wasn't accessed to the people in your normal lifestyle, man. These were like for, you know, governments, you know, these were for people that were in high power. You know, I literally seen videos like that, how they were showing it. Okay. Old pictures with people with phones in their hands. Like, what the fuck? Old pictures, like black and white pictures. You can't fake that. You can't digitalize that shit, you know, but they showed it because it was, you know, made for the secret society, you know, but to us, all right, it's like, wow, look at this technology, you know, and they've been had it already. So, hey, man, it's a matter of time before they bring in that N.W.O. All right. That, you know, year 2026 year of the N.W.O. in technology. Okay.
Now, day zero is a moment when the water supply gets.
Think of that one more.
Listen to this. Many people don't know this, but just 3 ChatGPT responses can consume an entire bottle of water. While we were distracted with other things, there's a danger that nobody's talking about. But it's going to hit harder than anything this decade. The world could run out of water. It's actually called day zero. Now, day zero is a moment when the water supply gets so low that governments have to shut off access to regular tap water. Remember, we're in the biggest tech transformation in history, and tech needs water. AI and data centers need water. Now, this is a serious threat, but it could be a huge opportunity. There's a reason why people like Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and other billionaires are investing in water. Now, here's 5 ways to invest in water. You have water ETFs.
But you see how in the beginning,
listen to this.
All this shit was underwater. These are all those, see? This is all them.
Many people don't know this, but just 3 ChatGPT responses can consume an entire bottle of water.
That's a whole system underwater, man. You see? And that's how they're going to tell you that, hey, there's a shortage on water. You can't have no access to water. That's why water is going to be golden. You know, it's just going to be just like gold. And in order for you to have something so golden, it's going to require that you have a facial scan, which is really going to be a hand scan, you know, or a Neuralink scan, you see? So we're right around the corner with this thing, man. We just got to watch it play out. And when you see these things play out, man, you can't even be scared of these things, man. All right, because it's really the Lord that gave them the intelligence. It tells you that in what is that? Psalms 37. Psalms 37 and 7. It says, "Rest in the Lord Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." You see? So we have to just continually be resting in the Lord and wait on the Lord, man. And be not worried about this damn devil that has these devices that are coming to pass. All right, because we understand that that's the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that gave him the intelligence to do that. And by us knowing that's the intelligence of the Lord, it's also us knowing that it's a test of our faith. You see? So when we see that, you know, technology be brought out, all right, we can't marvel at that shit. We just got to be like, man, that's how we know we're so close to the end. That's how we know that our Lord is about to crack them clouds. When you see all these technologies come to pass, you know, the things that were spoken of by the prophets and the things that have been spoken of in the scriptures before we even knew this truth. You know, the Lord warned us of it, man, through these scriptures, through the prophets of old, you see? So when we see these devices come to pass, all right, fret not thyself. Be not afraid of it, man. The Lord said there are many devices in a man's heart in Proverbs, right? There are many devices in a man's heart, but nonetheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. So prophecy is going to stand. The word of the Lord is going to stand. And the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. So whatever's promised unto us is going to come to pass. And whatever's promised unto us for this kingdom is going to be given unto us for being true followers of the Heavenly Father and the Son. You see, for believing in his truth. You see, so we're not worried about it one bit. If anything, when you see something new, if devices come out, be more excited. Be excited more than anything. You see, be not ignorant to Satan's devices. All right, because we know that he coming with evil schemes, but be cheerful when you see these things, because you know that our redemption draweth nigh, man. You know that is, hey, this is all of the Heavenly Father, and it has to come to pass. You see. So yeah, that's pretty much the point on those videos. You know, at first it was probably a little confusing with the two videos because she ended up giving me the wrong videos, but she redeemed herself by giving me the actual videos I was talking about. So it shouldn't be as confusing now, and it actually all went together with each other, all four of them at the end of the day. So water's going to be a golden thing to have. You're not going to be able to have it, all right, unless you pretty much scan through water. I mean, scan through these systems, which is going to lead to one thing: the MOTB, the RFID, the mark of the beast, all right, which is about to be made mandatory very soon. All right. So be prepared for these things to come to pass. And hey, just continue to pray and do the will of the Heavenly Father so he could keep us from the hour of temptation, you know. So I'm gonna leave it there through the Spirit. You know, Lord willing that you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. You sisters continue to learn in silence, watching the true men of the Lord. And may Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai continue to be with you in your households. May he continue to, you know, increase you in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and continue to increase you in faith, all right, and to have endurance all the way unto the end, because we're almost up out of here, all right, and that's the things that we desire the most, to get the hell up out of here, and that this place Babylon the Great be destroyed and finished, all right, because look at the shit we got to go through. We're about to go through some heavy times, man, perilous times, as the scriptures say, you know, and that shows you right there why the Lord is going to have us as pilgrims upon the earth, and we're going to have to be, you know, constantly moving in faith. You know, as the scriptures say, we walk by faith and not by sight, you know, because to walk by sight is to make provision of the flesh, and things like that are going to make you try to go to, you know, that's pretty much what Esau trying to do. He's trying to break you down mentally so you can move and rely on the flesh. And then to rely on the flesh is to rely on the system, which is of the flesh. You see, they're not moving in a system of the Spirit, all right? But the Lord has given us the keys, right? The ingredients to move in the Spirit and not in the flesh, because the Spirit is always going to conquer the flesh, man. We don't need none of that fleshly shit. All we need is the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to help us succeed through these times, man. So, you know, make no provision for the flesh, and hey, just keep praying unto the Lord that he keep us from the hour of temptation. So I'm going to leave it there through the Spirit. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah. One.